What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, as you guys can see, I'm going to be talking about chain links because I've been getting comments on my videos throughout the past at least 2 years now saying, hey Chris, can you make a video explaining chain links? And guess what? This video is going to be doing that. It's going to be a quick little video. So if you guys have like 2 to 3 minutes to spare, this is definitely the video for you. So as I always tell you guys, without further ado, let's begin. So starting by saying, what are chain links? Chain links essentially are how the procedure of a match goes when you're reacting to another card that your opponent is using. For example, I play Raigeki. My opponent activates Threatening Roar. Raigeki is chain link 1 that starts the chain. Threatening Roar is chain link 2. How chain links work specifically is whatever happens last happens first. So with that being said, I activate Raigeki to clear my opponent's board. They chain Threatening Roar, just for the simple terms. Threatening Roar resolves first because it was activated last on the chain. I can't attack my opponent directly for the turn, so I just Raigeki their field for no reason. Now that's something a little bit more simple, easy to understand. Where people get confused at, from what I've been noticing, is when they get to deep chain links. Chain link 1, chain link 2, and chain link 3, chain link 4, etc. You can go up to chain link 10 if you had a amount of cards to do it. Pretty much, if you have Raigeki, will be chain link 1. So let's go back to the basics, to the simple explanation again. You play the Raigeki, that's chain link 1, or whatever card it could be. It could be a dark hole, it could be a monster effect, heck, it could just be whatever. You play your card, that's chain link 1. Let's say it was a Raigeki. Chain link 2, I chain Threatening Roar. Chain link 3 would be the opponent responding to something like, let's say for example, a enemy controller. So I go Raigeki, chain link 1, my opponent chains Threatening Roar, chain link 2, I chain enemy controller, chain link 3 because it's a quick play spell card from my hand. So the way it'll work, enemy controller will resolve first, I'll tribute the monster, tribute a monster on my board, take control of their card and or monster. Then Threatening Roar resolves because it was activated second on the chain. Then Raigeki resolved last because it was the first thing that happened on the chain. Essentially guys, all you gotta think about when it comes down to chain links, when you play the card, whatever happens first happens last on the chain. So let's say you go chain link 1, Raigeki, chain link 2, Threatening Roar, chain link 3, enemy controller. Depending on whoever uses enemy controller last, the controller or whatever card you had chained activates. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Counter traps. Counter traps cannot be chained to unless you have another counter trap. So let's say for example, I go Raigeki, chain link 1, my opponent goes Threatening Roar, chain link 2. If I chain Divine Wrath, chain link 3 to negate their monster effect or whatever, or that's a bad example. Let me go Raigeki, chain link 1, my opponent activates, let's say for example, his monster effect on this field, which is start chain link 2. I can go Divine Wrath, chain link 3, and unless my opponent has another counter trap, they cannot chain to it. Specifically due to the rules, counter traps cannot be chained to unless they're chained to by another counter trap. Counter traps are the cards that have that little swivel symbol. So effectively, counter traps are the things that will break the chain links. Essentially, if you go normal summon a monster, your opponent activates Solemn Judgment or a Solemn Strike or a Solemn Warning to stop the summon of that monster. Unless you have a card to respond that's a counter trap, you cannot respond to that card. Now, that's pretty much simple common sense for somebody who's playing Yu-Gi-Oh for 20 years, but I can understand why this gets confusing to a lot of players because we also have some certain cards that might be a quick play spell. Let's say for example, not Miracle Fusion, but Brilliant. It was that fusion card that heroes used to run a lot. Can't think of the name right now, I'm just gonna call it Miracle Fusion. It was a quick play fusion spell card where it literally says on the card you cannot chain to it when this card is activated. And we have a lot of cards like that in Yu-Gi-Oh. Can't think of their names right now. I'm drawing a blank. This is late at night. It's like 12 p.m. my time recording this video. So when they have card effects that says cannot be chained to it, common sense says you cannot chain to those cards. So in the instance of that fusion spell card that was a quick play, this cannot be chained to, that's considered a spell speed 4. Now I don't really like using the fancy $10 words, spell speed 1, spell speed 2, spell speed 3. I'm simple, I like to keep it basic. Common sense says, if the card says it cannot be chained to, it cannot be chained to. Counter traps cannot be chained to unless it's by another counter trap. And to finish off the video, whatever happens last on the chain happens first. So essentially, back to the basics. I activate Regeki, my opponent chains Threatening Roar. Threatening Roar resolves first because it activated last on the chain. And then Regeki resolves second. So Regeki is chain link 1, Threatening Roar is chain link 2, the chain resolves backwards, and that's how the chain plays out. If I missed out anything for chain links, I want you guys to help me with that in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm uploading a new video every other day. So once again, man, this is InnovationYGO, and I'm signing out. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.